Hi, I'm Donna Mason. I'm very honored to be part of the Washington Goes Purple exhibit this year at the Washington County Arts Council. And I'm especially honored to have won Best of Show for my piece Eliminating Stigma and Shame Through the Community of Art. This purple art piece depicts the stigma and shame associated with drug addiction. The stigma of addiction is caused by a misunderstanding in society about why and how someone becomes addicted. The stigma isolates the addict from society. Stigma is followed by shame, when shame is used to try to prevent an addict from using drugs. Using art to educate the public can be a better way to help eliminate this stigma. A potential addict may also find that they can express their pain by using art, and they can find the support that they need if they become part of an art community. Substance use disorder can be prevented if instead of using shame, society helps the addict find community. Community could be called the opposite of addiction.
Hello, my name is Judy Melby Robinson. I'm a mixed media artist living in Hagerstown, Maryland. I was recently honored by being given a first place award for a painting that I submitted to the Washington County Arts Council for their exhibit, Washington Goes Purple. The title of my painting is I'm Still Here. It was done with acrylics and inks. And in the painting, I try to depict all the chaos, the ugliness, the darkness that someone would go through on their journey from addiction to recovery. And the individual that I painted, I also surrounded her with some bright light, sunshine, to show that she had gone through the recovery. She had made it. And giving her the affirmation of, I'm still here. I'm still here, I made it through all the ugliness, and life is good. So I really hope that anybody who is able will be able to make it down to the Arts Council Gallery to see the exhibit. There's some wonderful paintings here done by artists, and it would be really worth your while if you have time to come down and check it out and support the council. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Swasina, and I painted this painting, Society's Limited View, and I just wanted to take a moment to explain to you where my idea came from. When I was a little girl, I always liked watching princess stories and listening to princess stories, and they always ended with the same phrase, and they lived happily ever after. But as an adult, I realized that one event then cannot accumulate happily ever after for the rest of your life. And I started thinking that if only we as a society didn't want to chase after this happily ever after, or look for Easy Street, or eventually find ever after what? And so I painted this painting with a sailboat going off into the sunset. And the sailboat is supposed to represent society. And off to the side there on the right are some very ominous looking clouds. And I think to myself that if we as a society stopped chasing our own happily ever after, and we started looking over at that ominous storm that might be engulfing our neighbor, our friend, our brother, our sister, this is how we could stop or maybe prevent addictions. I think that if we as a society could stop saying to ourselves that there ever was a happily ever after, and that we could say to our friend, our neighbor, our brother, our sister, I love you, I want to help you through this. Let me help guide you back to a path of safety. And no one will ever feel like they fell off the boat or the proverbial wagon, but they will feel like, okay, life is hard, but we're in this together. So let's do this. Let's love more, let's look to each other, and let's work together to get through this really difficult life. Thank you.
Well, hello, my name is Chris Schingler. I was asked to give a short video on a piece of art that was submitted and took first place on 3D on addiction. The month was purple. So what I'd like to do is talk about this piece then. The flower is actually represents the addiction of whatever choice, and you can see the charcoal in it is the devastation that addiction leaves behind. The flower represents the people that get involved in that. What I really like to draw attention to is the white background. In this painting, that's just hope. That's just God's love. There's no escape from that. The biggest thing that I learned through addiction on my own is that you feel alone and no one else understands, and that is just simply not true. The glass flowers actually resembles hope. And as you can see, the destruction, it doesn't matter where you're at in your addiction, there's always hope. If you're above it, if you're in the middle of it, if you're at the end of it, there's always hope. The top butterflies represents grace and mercy that is always at your disposal. There's always hope, and there's always power to overcome your addictions. And what I can just tell you about the simplicity of grace and mercy that you have. Mercy is not receiving bad we deserve, and grace is receiving good we cannot earn. So that is something to always remember, and that there's always hope, and you're not alone. That was the biggest deception that I got in my life through addiction, is that you feel alone, and it's just simply not true. No one needs beat down. We're here. There's people to help you. The power of the Holy Spirit will give you the strength to take one day at a time. And I'd like to thank the Art Council for supporting our community through this show, and I'd just like to thank them for their support of the art. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cindy Roberts Downs, and my piece is a welded metal sculpture made from recycled materials. The piece is titled, "There But For the Grace of God Go I," and what it is specifically dealing with is people who injure their back or possibly had an operation and they were in a lot of pain. They went to the doctor where they were unfortunately overprescribed very addictive opioids, and before they knew it, they were in a situation that they never ever thought they'd find themselves in. My figure is bent over, they have their head in their hands, and they are feeling so much shame and confusion. There are magnifying glasses which represent how they feel everybody is scrutinizing and analyzing everything that they did in their life wrong. But the truth is, that's the lock on their ankle represents that they've locked themselves into this mindset. And if they were to lift their heads up and look to the other side, the key to the lock is right there. The way to set themselves free, which can be through programs, other people who are willing to help, and also through faith in God.